Welcome back. Today we are doing a holiday look. It's very glam, very chic. And what we're going to do is a twist on your normal smoky eye. Instead of the traditional neutral shades, we're going to actually be using emerald. I think this is a perfect smoky eye effect for the holidays. So stay tuned if you want to see how to get this look. Of course, we're going to start out with an eye base. Just use your finger and go ahead and tap it all over the lid. This is actually by NYX. It is their, let's see, what's it called? Eyeshadow base is just what it's called. And it's the shade Skin Tone, I believe. To get a really ultra smoky base, what I'm going to do is actually use a black eyeliner pencil. And I'm just going to kind of color this in all over her eyelid. This is going to give us a really rich, deep base, so it's going to be easier for us to smoke out that emerald shade that we're going to use on top. So just go ahead and pat it all over the lid. I'm using the Rimmel Scandaleyes pencil. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to smooth that out. You can use your finger or a brush and just pat that out. Blend it up a tiny bit, but we don't want to bring it up too far. Now I'm going to take this iridescent shade. This is actually by Wet n Wild. It's this one right here. It's kind of like a brown, but it has a little bit of a teal bluish color. When you put it over the top of the black eyeliner, it really brings out the green iridescence in it. Color pack it all over the lid. Do we see how that's looking nice and rich now because of that black base? Now that that's on, we're going to go ahead and blend it out. We want to make sure that crease looks nice. I'm going to be working out of this Morphe palette. It is the 35W, and there is this beautiful brown shade here. I'm actually going to mix a couple of them. I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of this guy right here and then warm it up with this one right here. I'm going to be working out of those two, and I'm just going to work those into her crease. Go ahead and sweep that color back and forth into the crease. It's going to help blend up all those harsh edges that we had before from the emerald. Now for a little brightness, go in with Mary Luminizer or any other bright highlight, and we're just going to put that right in the inner socket of the eye, just to bring a little bit of light right there. And then we're also just going to feather it in just like about 1/3 of the eye. That way everything gets nice and bright. Back to the Morphe palette again. We're just going to go in with some of this flesh color right here, and we're going to highlight right underneath the brow bone. Blend it down a little bit into that crease color just to kind of smooth the transition. Smudge your brush in a little bit of black, and we're just going to work that into the corner, the outer V essentially, the outer third of the eye. Just back and forth, and then work it up towards the crease just to give her a little more smoke. I'm actually going to the BH Cosmetics Smokey Eyes palette. There's this little bit of a green shade right here. I'm just going to take a teeny bit of that, and I'm just going to pat that right on the center of the lid just to kind of accentuate that emerald color just a little bit more. Now, of course, for the cleanup, just go ahead and take a wipe and just get right underneath there. And then what I'm also going to do is just drag this out really sharp right here so that we get a nice, straight, flat edge right there on the eye. And then you can just rub away any of the excess that it swiped up. For the eyeliner, we're going to be using the Maybelline Eye Studio. This is waterproof, and it's a gel eyeliner, so we're going to need an angled brush as well. And then just go ahead and drag that along the lash line. Just use your lashes as a guide, and you can use short, small strokes, and that's just gonna give you the perfect straight line. I'm gonna drag out the edge just a little bit further past her lashes. It's gonna be straight, I'm not winging it yet. We're gonna use our wipe that we did our cleanup with, and we're just going to reinforce that straight line. And when you pull that up, what it's going to do, it's actually going to tug the eyeliner that we extended further, and it's going to give us a nice little flick without actually having to put in the effort of doing winged liner. I'm Mascara, of course, is a must. This is the Scandalize by Rimmel. Look down for me. Emily has like the biggest, best lashes ever. So we're just going to paint them lightly, and then we're going to pop on some individual lashes to give her a little extra volume. I like to always put a blob of glue at the top of the package for easy, just to make things easier when you're working. And then just dip your lash right into the glue. Look down for me. And then you're just going to plop the lash right into the root of the lashes, right there. Emily's lashes are already super long, but what this is going to do is just give us some extra volume. We're going to be using Face Atelier Ultra Foundation. This is in shade number 2, Ivory. And a flat top kabuki brush by It Cosmetics. And I'm just going to go ahead and buff this right into the skin. We're just going to even out any imperfections and make sure that her skin just looks perfect. We're going to use a little bit of concealer. This is the MAC Pro Longwear in shade NC15. I'm going to use my finger to just dab that in because the warmth from your hand is really going to help smooth this product out so that it doesn't look heavy. Let's set everything with Maybelline's Fit Me powder in shade 110, and we're just going to use a large fluffy brush and just dust that all over the face so that it'll lock that foundation right in place. A little bit of bronzer is always a good idea. This is actually the palette 9BZ by Morphe. Back to that Mary Luminizer with a little fan brush. We're going to sweep this right on the tops of her cheekbones to give her a little holiday glow, and right above the lip as well, and down the bridge of the nose. And palette 9B from Morphe for a little color. I'm going to go for this center kind of peachy pinky shade right there and just sweep that right over the apples of her cheeks. Of course, we cannot forget about the brows. I'm going to use the Cella Brow Pencil in Taupe, and what I'm going to do is just sketch out her general shape starting from the bottom and then move on to the top. Short, small strokes. And then we'll just comb it on through to make sure everything looks nice and smooth. Line those lips. We're using Jordana Easy Liner in the shade Tawny. And we're just going to sketch out the outer line of her lips, and then we're actually going to fill in her entire lips with it as well. So just feather it inward as you line your lips. Then top it off with a little bit of gloss. This is by Lorac. It's shade Mark, and it's their Lips with Benefits. I love this. It's the perfect neutral. Let's go ahead and add a little more smolder by adding a little bit of liner to the bottom. Use that black eyeliner we used in the beginning to just line inside the actual waterline. And then using that original emerald shade, the Wet n Wild one, we're just going to go right underneath that liner. Look up. And we're just going to smoke it out a little bit. And then set it all with a little setting spray. This is Skindinavia. It's their makeup setting spray, their bridal formula. Perfect. She is good to go.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, they can't see your wave because you're not zoomed out enough. You're too low. So put your hand up towards your face.
Like right here?
Yeah, like right towards your, right towards your, let's see, you can go a little lower than that. Yeah, like if you're like right about there,
okay,
you can give them a little tootly-loo. Let's try it again.
Okay.
And go.